Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm Iggy, your guide to all things finance, investments, and retirement planning. Whether you're here to learn about stocks or figure out how to retire comfortably, you're in the right place. And before we dive in, I just want to say thank you to all of you who've supported the investing Iguana. We've grown into one of the top financial communities out there, ranked 8th in the 2024 Influential Tigers by Tiger Brokers. With over 700 videos and more than 300,000 watch hours, this wouldn't have been possible without you. Now, let me ask you something. Is $550,000 enough to retire in Singapore? That's the question that sparked a lively debate in the Beansprout community recently. A Business Times article claimed that retirees should aim for at least $550,000 for conservative needs. Naturally, this raised some eyebrows. Some people said it's way too low, while others wondered if CPF Life was included in that calculation. So today, I'm diving into the DBS Life After Work report that inspired this discussion. We'll break down what this means for your financial planning and how you can take actionable steps toward your dream retirement. Let's get started. The DBS report lays out 3 retirement savings targets based on the kind of lifestyle you want by age 65. First, there's $550,000, which is meant to cover basic living expenses of about $1,600 per month for 20 years. This is what you'd call a no-frills retirement. Simple meals at hawker centers and staying close to home most of the time. Next is $950,000, which supports a more comfortable lifestyle with monthly expenses of $2,800. This might include dining out occasionally or indulging in hobbies like picking up a new skill or spending more time with loved ones. Finally, there's $1.3 million, which is for those who want an aspirational retirement, traveling the world, exploring new hobbies like photography or painting, or even donating to causes they care about. This allows for monthly expenses of around $4,000. Here's an important detail. These numbers are based on liquid assets like cash and investments, but exclude illiquid assets like your HDB flat or private property. So if your home is part of your wealth plan, it's not factored into these calculations. That said, think about this for a moment. What kind of retirement do you envision? Are you someone who values simplicity and quiet evenings at home, or are you dreaming of sipping coffee in Paris or trekking through New Zealand? Take a second and picture it, because knowing what you want is the first step toward making it happen. Knowing how much you need is one thing. Figuring out how to save it is another. Thankfully, DBS broke it down into manageable monthly investments so we can all see what it takes to hit these goals. Let's say you're 25 years old and aiming for $550,000 by age 65 with a 5% annual return on investments. You'd need to invest around $360 per month consistently over 40 years. Sounds doable, right? But if your goal is $1.3 million for an aspirational retirement filled with travel and experiences, you'll need to invest about $850 per month. Now here's where it gets tricky. The later you start investing, the more you'll need to save each month because compounding has less time to work its magic. For example, if you start at age 35 instead of 25, you'd need around $660 per month to hit $550,000 by age 65. If you wait until age 55, that jumps to a staggering $3,540 per month. This shows just how powerful starting early can be. Even small amounts can grow significantly over time thanks to compounding interest. Let me give you an analogy. Think of compounding as planting a tree. If you plant it early and water it regularly, it grows into a towering oak over decades. But if you plant it late, you'll have a sapling when everyone else is enjoying shade under their full-grown trees. Now let's talk about investing smartly, because saving alone won't cut it if inflation eats into your purchasing power over time. The DBS report highlights equities, or stocks, as one of the best tools for growing wealth over time. Historically, equities have delivered higher returns compared to bonds or fixed deposits. For instance, the Straits Times Index, STI, had an average return of around 9.5% annually from 2009 to 2023. Meanwhile, the S&P 500 in the US, which many investors look at as a benchmark for global markets, averaged an impressive 14.9% annually over the same period. Of course, stocks come with risks. Markets can be volatile. But here's the good news. The longer your investment horizon, the better positioned you are to ride out those ups and downs without panicking during market dips. For example, over 1 year between 2004 and 2023, STI returns range from as high as plus 70% during strong market years to as low as 47% during downturns like the global financial crisis. However, when we look at 10-year periods instead of single years, the range narrows significantly to plus 13% on the high end and 3% on the low end. This means that if you're investing for decades rather than years, say for retirement, you're giving your portfolio more time to recover from short-term losses. Here's another thought experiment. If you can achieve a 6% annual return instead of 5%, your monthly investment needs to drop significantly over time because compounding works faster at higher rates of return. To hit $1.3 million starting at age 25 with a 5% return requires around $850 per month in contributions. But bumping that return up by just 1% reduces your monthly need to about $650. That extra percent may not sound like much, but over decades, it's game-changing. Some of you might be wondering, doesn't CPF Life cover part of my retirement income? Absolutely. CPF Life provides lifelong payouts starting at age 65 based on how much you've contributed during your working years. For example, if you've hit the Enhanced Retirement Sum, ERS, your monthly payouts could range from around $2,500 to $2,700 depending on factors like interest rates and inflation adjustments. Combine those payouts with savings or investments generating another $1,300, $500 monthly from a target like $550K, and you're looking at a comfortable retirement income without having to worry about running out of money too soon. So what should you do next? Here are some actionable steps based on what we've learned today. Start investing early, even if it's just small amounts each month, and stay consistent no matter what happens in the markets. Allocate more toward equities while diversifying across asset classes like bonds or REITs so that your portfolio balances growth potential with stability as needed. Use low-cost ETFs, exchange-traded funds, as an easy way to build a diversified portfolio without needing advanced stock-picking skills or large amounts of capital up front. For young investors just starting out on their journey toward financial freedom, consider ETFs like those tracking Singapore's STI index or global indices such as the S&P 500 through regular savings plans, RSPs. These plans let you invest consistently without worrying about market timing, a great way to build wealth steadily over time while smoothing out volatility along the way. Retirement planning doesn't have to be overwhelming, especially if you start early and stay consistent. Whether your goal is $550K or 1.3 or somewhere in between, remember that every dollar invested today is one less dollar needed tomorrow thanks to compounding returns working their magic over time. If this video helped clarify things for you or gave you that nudge toward financial freedom, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs this info too. And don't forget to check out my other video titled The CPF Delay Trap, the hidden 96K cost of delaying CPF life payouts, for even more insights into maximizing your retirement income. Until next time, stay invested and stay curious.